This podcast is for conversation and educational purposes only. I am not, let me repeat, not a mental health clinician that's allowed to give you medical advice to go do some dumb shit. Yes, I said dumb shit. I do curse to express my individuality, so if that offends you, then please don't motherfucking listen. Now, y'all, enjoy the show. Are you tired of that bullshit? Toxic people in relationships. You may be dealing with a narcissist. Are you dealing with a narcissist? Who puts you down in every argument? You might be fighting your depression. Trying to figure out the lesson.
Damn, what's the lesson?
Maybe you're looking for your soulmate.
Where she at? Where he at?
But the dating scene ain't looking great. Well, I'm two keys and I'm in town.
What's up?
I'm gonna help you lay them burdens down. So please enjoy this episode of the 69ers Chronicles. Welcome to episode 30, big 30, yeah, it's season motherfucking 3, bitch. Get 'em two keys. Bitch, it's season 3, E3, yo. Bitch, I'm on in my zone. I'm a rare bitch. Check the degree list. And I'm the baddest podcaster, even speak, bitch. They call me two keys, bitch, and I'm a heavyweight. Now I'm an MP, started as a CNA. I used to be a quiet bitch, now you hear me, yay. Now this nigga eat my pussy like I'm Kevin Gates. Cause I'm the magistrate, bitch, I regulate. I'ma run my mouth, bitch, like I run the bank. Cause you an amateur, and I'm a heavyweight. Bitch, I blow your candles out on your birthday cake. Go hard. Get 'em, keep. Verse number 2, bitch, what it do? Bitch, yo, back. Bitch, on you. I ain't never had a thing to prove. Cause bitch, I'm smooth. Catch this groove. Okay, it's my style, bitch. Ethics so ridiculous. Got these bitches looking like they bleed. But Lord Jesus, I need you to help me. Cause these hoes about to bring out my anxiety. Let's get to the episode. Season 3, episode 30. Bitch, I'm hard. Episode 30. Y'all, cut it out, bitch. Y'all, welcome back to the 69ers Chronicles podcast, where we get real, raw, and vulnerable about mental health. I am your creator and host, Nurse Motherfucking Tukis.
How you doing?
And y'all, honey, I can't help it. I love music, honey. This is a podcast musical, a mental health podcast musical. This is a place, my happy place, where I can express my talents while also helping us heal and get through the real shit, the raw stuff. You know, this is where we're vulnerable, where we talk about mental health. Y'all, and I'm just so happy that y'all could be here on this journey with me, y'all. This is episode 30. Y'all, give us a motherfucking hand clap. If I really, though, put out every one I recorded, I'd probably be like 78, but I'm a perfectionist. So, you know, I got to have the music coming in at the beginning. I'm finna slide on up in episode 30. Straight like that, y'all. But today's episode is deeply personal. And for many, this could be a triggering topic. So if you start to listen, you start to get triggered, bitch, turn it the fuck out. What we say?
Cut that bitch off!
Because we are diving into mommy wounds. And this is being the daughter or the son of a narcissistic parent. Specifically, this is mother to daughter, because in the Black community, I mean, I hate to say it, but It's a statistic. Black mothers hate their daughters. And it's like this envy thing. And so we're going to talk about it. And it's basically a recap of episode 1 through 10. Like, I'm finna bring that bitch back, honey. Do you hear me? Because I think I need to speak a word today. Uh, you got to laugh to keep from crying. I'm good at laughing, so I don't cry too much. And most of the time I cry tears of joy. But no, this is not an easy topic to unpack. I do talk about it more freely, but it still gets me, but this is a topic that is a necessary one. Because many of us, we carry wounds left behind from our parents, the ones who's supposed to nurture us, love us unconditionally, and provide a safe space. And yet, for the daughters or sons of a narcissistic mother, those maternal bonds often become tangled in manipulation, criticism, and unmet emotional needs. So, y'all grab y'all motherfucking tea, get your journal. We're going to have a quiet place. Let's talk about it. Like I said, if this topic is too touchy, feel free to come back. But, bitch, come back because we waiting on you. And let's talk about healing and what it looks like. All right? So, y'all know what I always say when I be like, this is a podcast where we sip tea. Y'all, where's your tea? This is where whatever you're drinking, tea, Kool-Aid, water, whatever fits you. It's like a cheers. We do cheers every now and then if you're new to this. So when I be like, hey y'all, we finna get into it. So where's your tea? This is where you drink. Ooh, y'all, my cup already empty. I've been trying to do that part like 10 times. So look, I love this. This is fun. But no, seriously. Let's talk about mommy wounds. Okay, so when we talk about, the reality of a narcissistic mother, sometimes people cringe at the word at narcissist, period, because narcissistic, everybody use narcissistic. Because a lot of narcissists don't, first of all, they don't like to identify with it. So if you bring it up and they say, oh, everybody say that's narcissism. And then some people, they don't use it correctly. But see, narcissism, it can be a trait that some people have some of the symptoms, but narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, that means you meet full criteria. And so not everybody meets that narcissism full criteria, but some people have narcissistic traits, just got a few of them, but they really impact their life, or they just toxic than a motherfucker. So this goes for narcissistic or toxic, just to put it that way. And with narcissism, it's a personality trait. It's just how they are. It's embedded in how they look at people, how they talk to people, how they act with people. And like I said, if you meet the criteria for the disorder, it's a disorder which is characterized by lack of empathy. That means I'm not able to put myself in your shoes. I'm not even going to try to put myself in your shoes. I really don't give a fuck about you. It's like that selfishness that I spoke about, that arrogance. But my brain just do not calculate how to put myself in your shoes. And then it's on top of inflated. That means too big, bitch. Like everybody's got a sense of like your bubble, but then you know how they blow that bubble too big before it's about to pop. They about to pop with that inflated sense of importance. Like they're more important, and their feelings are more important, or what they have going on is more important, or their perception of you is more important than how you feel, because they lack empathy. And they have this need for admiration. That means they make an A at home, or they make an A outside and an F at home. So in front of everybody, they're great people, but behind closed doors, they talk shit to you, make you feel like nothing. I'm talking physical abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, mental abuse. There's a lot of people in the religious community, people in the spiritual community, or people that have power at their job. You see a lot of these people in narcissists or people with narcissistic traits in these places of authority because they get to have power over people. That's what makes them feel good because they really feel like shit. When they go home, so they make everybody else feel like shit. It's like misery loves company. You feel me? So, when it comes to parenting, a narcissistic mother often projects her insecurities on her child. So that means when I say project, that means how I feel about myself, I'm really putting it on you. So one time I got into arguing with my mom. I was like, "Oh, you are so messy." She said, "You're so messy." It's like, you remember when you were a kid? We used to make jokes. You're big. No, you're bigger. No, bitch, you're fat. No, you're fat, hoe. Or yo mama. No, bitch, yo mama.
Got him!
I'm just saying, you got to laugh to keep from crying sometimes. And it's okay. It's not your fault. That's why we on this podcast, because we learned and we taking all those traumas that we had and how we reacted to them, and we're applying new ways to deal with them. Because I mean, it's just like it's a dog eat dog world. You gotta deal with your feelings the way you have to deal with them to deal with your parents to get through till you grow up. But like you just dealing with you do to how you deal with them to grow up, and then you use those same coping mechanisms when you grow up, and that's where the friction comes from, and that's where we get like, why do we be the way we be? We got to go back to the past, understand our past. We got to deal with it. We got to unpack it. Like I said, this is not easy. Believe me, I love my mama. I always love my mama. But the thing is, when you become an adult and you understand that you don't have to depend on your parent anymore, you gotta love yourself. Because if this person is bringing anxiety, they're bringing hardship, and you just keep on doing it of the sake of this is my parent, this is my sister, this is my blood. No, fuck that shit. Cause bitch, I will cut you off faster than some motherfucking food stamps.
Cut that bitch off!
And that's on what?
Harriet!
Okay. So before we move on, let's just go back to projection one more time. I just remember just being vulnerable and remember, and just not one specific experience, but many. I remember sitting in the room having an argument with my mom. She's like, "You're so ungrateful. I do everything for you. If this is how you repay me." It's like her words were like daggers. And I started to wonder, am I really ungrateful? Am I selfish? It took me years of therapy, years, y'all, and self-reflection to realize that it wasn't about me. That was her projecting her own wounds onto me. Because at the end of the day, you brought me in this world. I have to be here. So don't make it seem like just because you feed me and you clothe me, that's a privilege. You're supposed to do that. But you scramble and you worry about just having that what's supposed to be a privilege that's really a given. It's like that manipulation thing is really sad. And then the thing too is, oh, you're so selfish. Just because you speak your mind. I got called selfish a lot just for saying I don't want to do something. I'm saying no. I'm putting boundaries up. It's like when you put boundaries up, you're selfish. No, I put boundaries up because this is what makes me feel comfortable. If it's something I don't want to do, I don't want to do. I don't see nobody breaking their back or their neck over for me. And so it's like gaslighting. But it's like, am I ungrateful? Am I selfish? No, it took me years. And then on top of that, so you go and fall into this thing called people pleasing because you try to people please your parent so you can get that love back in return. And so you don't get the love back in return, you do it with your peers, you do it with your teachers, you do it with people at Taco Bell, you do it with people at whoever, wherever. It's your job. And you're always putting more in, and you wonder why you ain't getting nothing out of it. That's why, y'all. It's time to change this motherfucking perspective. We're going to heal these motherfucking mommy wounds. You're not ungrateful. You're not selfish. It's okay to put boundaries up. You were supposed to be here because you're here. God, He put you here. Yes, thank you for that. And we love you for that. But the thing is, you don't have to tolerate abuse, whether it's verbal, emotional, physical, financial, or sexual. All the lulus. Um, and then SA, that's a whole different thing. But none of that's your fucking fault, okay? None of it's your fault. So let's just put that out there right motherfucking now. And we're gonna move on. Cause bitch, I'm about to get pissed. I'm about to get pissed. I'm finna be like, you won't think something like that. You won't think something like. And I don't know what the fuck she always say, but I love it because I feel it every time I use it. So y'all, let's move on. Cause it's okay. We gonna touch them spots. We gonna talk about them, but we ain't gonna ruminate in them, bitch. We finna move the fuck out. And so what we finna do is we finna break down mommy wounds a little more. So mommy wounds, they show up in different ways. Maybe you find yourself constantly seeking validation from others, meaning I want to feel like I matter. And if I don't feel like I matter, bitch, fuck you. Or you struggle with setting boundaries, meaning you don't know how to say no because when you said no, you were being disrespectful. And that's a lot of times what happened in my home and a lot of homes when I grew up. And so I'm a black woman. I'm 38 years old. And it probably still goes on today. But back in my era, back when I was young, when I was in kindergarten, first grade, whatever, preschool, on up to high school, to shit, I'm grown. It's always been when you speak your mind, you're being disrespectful. No, I'm not cursing you, but I'm telling you how I feel, and it's like telling that narcissistic parent or that narcissistic parent with those traits, that toxic parent, telling them no. Even though it could be a good no, and no is really is a sentence. No, it's a whole motherfucking sentence. And it's okay to say no. Now, you don't want to be disrespectful. Be like, no, bitch, get out the way. You don't be like that. But you want to put your boundaries, say, hey, I got this going on. No, I'm not able to do it. It's okay. Your parent can't be your bully. Fuck that shit. I don't like bullies. If my kid, and I know my kids, they going to get older. They going to have lives. They going to have families. They going to have kids. I don't expect for them to drop everything that, they got to do. Or if they want to spend time with their family on Thanksgiving and want to come over to my house the day before, that's fine. But I'm not finna make you feel like shit. And then too, I'm not finna not see you for a long time and then we start to build a relationship and you just expect for me to start doing shit like I was before. No, baby, this is the new motherfucking two keys. Key. Yeah, we're gonna start this motherfucker all the way back over. And if we can't start this relationship over and reset, bitch, goodbye. What I say? And that's for anybody. What I say?
Cut that bitch off.
And love them from a motherfucking distance. You can still love them. You ain't gotta hate them. But the thing is, if you know this person is not going to change and they bring you those anxieties or they hold you down or you realize life is better in your little bubble because when you grow up, even if you don't have kids, you have a soul tribe. You have those people that you come around that make you feel great. They make you feel accepted. They make you feel validated. You love on each other. Even in your differences, you can still love each other. You can communicate. It ain't no yelling match. It ain't nobody hanging up in your face. It ain't none of that bullshit. Those are the people that I need because I only got so many fucks to give. Like I only got so many fuckets in my bucket to give. Okay, and I gotta say those fuckets for like picking up my kids, dropping them off, going to work, making this money, looking for jobs, living my life. I'm that bitch. Bitch, get it right. You know what I mean? No, I'm silly, but no, seriously though. I have so many fuckers in my bucket to give, and I'm allowed that. You are allowed that. You don't have to put on everybody's struggles on your back, and then your blood pressure is high, or you going through panic attacks, and all the shit that you're going through has nothing to fucking do with you. Do it have anything? And if it don't, you know what I say.
Cut that bitch off.
And love them from a motherfucking distance. Okay. Moving along. If I were... Okay, I don't need a copyright. I'm just saying, love them from a distance. It's okay. When you forgive somebody, that doesn't mean also you're allowed to come back in. I could just say I forgive you. It doesn't mean forgetting all that happened and start that new relationship again. And so I'm finna pull on one more heartstring for y'all. We're gonna process. We're gonna take this little bits at a time. I love this third season, y'all. Mommy wounds, and we're gonna get to daddy wounds later, but and baby daddy wounds, bitch. Cause we gonna unpack these war wounds. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, download, share this with somebody, please. Okay. But that saying my mom always used to say that was so frustrating to me as a kid, and she said this saying like a badge of honor. She said, do as I say and not as I do. Do as I say and not as I do. I think if that's not more narcissistic than anything or toxic or anything, and to wear that as a badge of honor, maybe it came from a movie back in the day. I don't know. But it's like, do as I say and not as I do. And it's like, okay, so you basically want me to do what you say, but I don't have no guidance or mirror. I don't have a role model to back it off of, because if you do some fucked up shit and I do some fucked up shit because you did some fucked up shit, then I'm wrong, but you showed me fucked up shit. So if I can't lead by example, I don't know what that means. That's a hot fucking mess. And one more before we get out of here. There is the honor your mother and your father. Honor thy mother and thy father, so your days will be long. And so my mom, she likes to send me shit like that. And I'm not saying shit because I love God, I love the Bible, but she likes to send me things like that. Or like this NDRE song, she was real weird. I'll try to find it later if I give a fuck. But it's just like, honor your mother and our father. It's like, I don't care what I do. Do as I say, not as I do, and honor me. But also in that same passage, that closet also say, don't provoke your child. So, I mean, let's make this shit make sense, because all this is toxic, retarded, narcissistic. I don't know. But you know what? Fuck that shit. You can, and then, parents still try to use that when you're a grown up. No, because at the end of the day, I don't even treat my kids like that. I let my kids talk. Now, when they being disrespectful, half the time I don't even say shit. Like, but you speak up too. I'm like, what you say? You know what I'm saying? But my kids are great kids. They're great kids. Even when they fuck up, they're great kids. I'm mad at them, and sometimes I see my mom come out of me at them, but I have to catch myself, because that's learned behavior. But I have enough empathy to see that shit and try to do something different. Whooping ass no more. Capital punishment, yes, it's still real. It's still legal. But that don't even do shit no more after time. You got to take stuff away from them. You got to, eventually you got to hold it down, though. You got to hold it down. You got to clink on these kids. Say, fuck them kids. Love my kid, but fuck them kids. They be having you fucked up. Okay. But at the end of the day, there's all the stuff that I went through as a kid. Oh, my God. I never do it. And I'm sure my kid will probably say the same thing about me. Hopefully the generations get better and better and shit. But I'm just speaking from experience. Baby, if you are in a parental relationship, I'm not even talking about the men. That's going to be next, or the women, the intimate relationships. This is just parental. This is just a recap. So, y'all, if you want to listen to or dive in more, go back to episode 1, 2, and 3. I talk about narcissism, growing up with a narcissistic parent. So now, on this last little party episode, we're going to talk about how to heal from these mommy wounds. So I'm going to share some things that work with me, that help me, and also work with my clients. Step number motherfucking 1. Step number 1, bitch. Acknowledge the pain. Feel the pain. I think that you should let it burn. Yeah. Just acknowledge the pain, and it don't feel good. And it's honestly just I'm being funny, but when it comes to acknowledging the pain, feeling the pain, you're not blaming nobody, you're not shaming nobody. You're actually validating your feelings. You're saying, okay, my feelings were real. What I went through was real, and it's okay to grieve the parent I didn't have. But you sometimes that step right there might take a whole fucking year because you've held this person in high regard for like the last 20, 30, probably more than that, depending on who you are. But I think that you should let it burn. And I just let it feel it. Just sing the song. You remember, even if you let it burn with a bad relationship, just if it burning down there, just go see your PCP. Bitch, we write scripts for that. Step step number 2, set boundaries. This is huge. This is what I was talking about earlier. Knowing when to say no, knowing when to say yes, knowing when to not stretch yourself so thin. And you scared to say no because it's disrespect, even though you know it's manipulation as a kid. They still try to use it as a manipulation as an adult, or your relationship partner be using it because their parents use it on them. It's like a cycle, a circle. It's crazy as hell. And you know, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm healed from that. I'm healed. Thank you, God. I'm healed from. Bitch, healing is not a race. It is a marathon, honey. The devil's always gonna try you. And you're going to have to always set new boundaries. You know, you're going to have to protect your peace. You're going to have to use your boundaries to protect your time, your mental health. Step number 3, you got to reparent yourself. Yes, reparent yourself. Think about what you needed as a child. Did you need reassurance? Did you need unconditional love? Did you need encouragement? Did you need you wanted your hair done more and you couldn't afford it? Whatever it was, whatever you needed that other kids had that you didn't have. You know, now we know that I know my kids, I can't give them everything that every kid has. But they have what they need and a lot of what they want. And if they really express that they really want something, I try my best to get it, but I also hold them accountable by making sure that their grades are up, you know, making sure that they're keeping the room clean, they're doing their chores. Like I'm showing them responsibility. It's like it's like you give something, then you get something. You just don't get. No, because then you'll be an asshole. And I don't need my kids to be assholes. Thank God they are not. And they're grateful for what I have to give them. And they don't make me feel bad for what I can't give them. We're parents. We're human because we really have to give to ourselves first. That's why I always say FTK. Fuck them kids. I love my kids, but fuck them kids. When it comes to doing for yourself so you can be able to give to your kids. You know, so now it's time to give yourself what you wanted. Give yourself kindness. Give yourself compassion. Tell yourself you're enough. I love you just the way you are. And embrace that soul tribe that might not be family. They might be your work community. They may be your neighborhood community. You know, whatever that community is to you, let it be. If it's healthy, bring that community in and make them your family. And you can cut all that old shit off because you know what y'all duh. What do I say when it comes to some people that's in your energy and they bad and you need to what?
Cut that bitch off.
Okay. And my last piece of advice. I know some people should. Now, the white people, the other, people that's not of black people, they are more inclined to going to seek mental health, seek professional help. Therapy is a game changer. A lot of times, and even when I was younger, I was like, I don't need no therapist. I don't need nobody to tell me about me. Who the fuck are they? But the rule of thumb is that me as a professional, as a psychiatric nurse practitioner, I'm supposed to have a therapist, and my therapist is supposed to have a therapist. Now, just think if you really wanted a therapist and your therapist didn't have a therapist, just think about all the mental health and all the problems and all the trauma dumping that your therapist they have on themselves. So how can they help you if they taking on from everybody? Ain't nobody perfect. Your therapist should have a therapist. Everybody needs some therapy. Everybody needs somebody to talk to. Professional therapy preferably. But if you can't, if that's not accessible, a friend, a pastor, somebody in your community. Not none of these hoes that I'll be arguing all the time. They always be in some mess and be like all in your business. You be like, bitch. They be like, bitch, what happened? No, I mean like real therapy. Somebody to look at you, not from a I know you already way, but I don't know you already way, but I hear you already way. Therapy. Bitch, see some therapy, honey. I like Better Health. I use Better Health. I'm in between therapists right now, but I will say, just especially when you're coming out of a narcissistic relationship or coming out of, and that's even parental or intimate or whatever the dynamic may be, even if it's coworkers, employees, employers, you need somebody that you can throw your thoughts on or bounce ideas off of. And sometimes when you say it out loud, it sounds different from what you've been saying inside. So sometimes you can tell your friend something, your therapist something, and you realize how crazy it sounds. But sometimes it don't sound that crazy when you're in the thick of it. So I'm just saying therapy. And I'm not just saying therapy just to get over a certain thing. Yes, to get over a certain thing, but even doing maintenance therapy. Going from once a week to getting over what you need to get to, or over every 2 weeks to get what you need, to every 1 month, every 2 months, whatever, bitch. Just talk to somebody. Okay? So, with that being said, I know I done said a mouthful. I got it under 30 minutes. Episode 30, season number 3, y'all. Thank you so much for tapping in. I'm going to go ahead and let y'all go because I done said what the fuck I need to say. Please make sure that you like, share, subscribe. If you would like to have like your Dear Kiki, it's like this segment where I read your anonymous letter and I give you feedback. You can send that to the Sexy Nurse Chronicles at gmail.com, or you can send me a audio or a letter. I would love to hear from you. And also make sure that you check my website out, thesexynursechronicles.com, for other episodes. And find me on Instagram, nurse, NURSE, number 2, keys, KEYS. And then the Sexy Nurse Chronicles on Facebook. Well, I'm gonna let y'all go. But I'm gonna be back in the next episode. I'll see y'all. I love y'all. Bye.